Oh, that's a bad optic. It wasn't up. It was straight ahead at least. It was still a white boy sprinkler. Um,
Hey there, my name is Cole Adams, and you are watching the best college basketball podcast out there that covers the entire sport of college basketball, brackets, bubbles, and bid stealers. Now, here are your hosts, Sam Fetterman and Jonathan Lidskin.
Season 6, episode 91 of Brackets, Bubbles, and Midfielders. I am Sam Fetterman. That is Jonathan Lidskin. That is the bubble of the year, Michael DeRosa. DeRosa, how are you?
Sam, last week I told you guys that of all the things I'm most embarrassed about, the thing I am most embarrassed about is that I watched every single Georgetown game. I broke that streak this weekend. I manned up. I didn't watch a second of the Xavier game. I didn't, aside from the clips I saw on Twitter, but like that doesn't count. I didn't watch a second, guys. I'm like a man. And then also, I'm going to make a claim here. I think there's a guy that's coming for Milan Momcilovic's title as the best shooter in college basketball. And no, it's not that guy at Utah Valley. Brett Decker doesn't fucking miss. That dude doesn't miss.
Brett Decker's a great shout there.
Every single time, I've watched enough Liberty games where, at this point, every single time he shoots it, it has gone in. I don't think he's missed a single shot. There are 40% three-point shooters I've watched that have never made a shot, like Jalen Celestine.
Seamus Lukosius was that for me.
Yes, Seamus can be it there. He was so streaky. Brett Decker's never missed a shot. If he is in rhythm, even off the bounce, if he just kind of get you can just see that look in his eye. It's oh, that's water. That's going in. Lidskin, how's life?
You need water.
Was that the best cold open in the history of any show ever?
I don't know if DeRosa realized that, but I went live for the last 40 seconds.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. And then I was just all right, well, I had already done 2 of my dance moves, so I was I don't know what to do now. I can do the white boy sprinkler, and then bad optic.
And then I put on the hi, my name's Cole Adams, and this is Brad.
Dude, I was sitting there doing that for a minute. It felt like 10 minutes. I swear.
Yeah, that I can imagine.
Yeah. All right, Jonathan. You know what I have in my hand?
Probably the same thing that I have in my hand.
I have a stack of brackets.
Valley. Mm-hmm.
We'll get to these later in the pod, but we have, I believe it's 13 conference tournament brackets now.
This feels roughly like a stack of 13 pieces of paper, so I'm going to say you're right.
But before we get to that, we have to talk about the weekend that was in college basketball at the high major level to start. Jonathan, I want to start this one in Champaign. Michigan 84, Illinois 70. Michigan grabs 34 rebounds, shoots 62% inside the arc, and just kind of dominates this game. Was up by 20 in the second half, went on a couple big runs, reaffirmed its place as the clear best team. Obviously, it's been affirming its place all year, but established itself as the lone regular season champions in the Big Ten, clinching the number 1 seed. Jonathan.
Michigan, I tweeted this Friday night. Michigan has played 4 games this year against Big Ten teams who are projected to be a protected seed in the NCAA tournament. 3 of those were on the road. 4-0 in those games, average margin of victory, 10 points. Double-digit win.
But let's not even say that. Let's not stop there. They were up 18 in the first half against Michigan State. Mm-hmm. They were up 20 in the first half against Purdue. And they were up 20 in the second half against Illinois.
Yeah, multiple of these wins did not feel competitive.
Mm-hmm.
They'll play Michigan State on Sunday. They play Iowa before that.
Poor Bennett Sturds. Oh, my God.
Iowa would be fine if they didn't lose to Penn State over the weekend.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Poor Bennett Sturds. He is not ready for Michigan. Yeah, they're terrific, though. Just in this game, Michigan was 18 of 24 at the rim. They made 7 dunks in this game, according to Torvik, which I think uses a kind of a loose definition of dunk, but still 7 dunks. They were just.
I could get you the synergy number.
Yeah. Yeah, like just I mean, it was complete BTA. Like this game really wasn't competitive once the second half like got going. Like the first half was relatively even. It was 38-31 at halftime, if I remember correctly. And then Michigan just came out the gate on a run. That was it. Cadeau looked really good in this game just because he was just a passer. And really everything was going. Yaxel was terrific. Maurice Johnson was terrific in a revenge game. Yeah, Jake Davis's dream of Mares really feeling it clearly did not come to fruition because Illinois' front court just kind of got manhandled.
Yeah, I kind of thought that Illinois would actually be okay on the physicality end of this when we previewed this, but that was clearly not the case, especially against Mares Johnson, who dominated for the most part in this game. Like the biggest thing outside of the margin of victory here to me is LJ Case and Torres ACL on his knee. And I don't think it's an injury that it's like, oh, whoa, Michigan's not winning a national championship now. I don't think it's that kind of injury, but I don't think it exactly helps you.
No.
I heard a interesting take today that basically Kaysen's injury now may pave the way for Trey McKinney to, launch himself into first round NBA draft conversation. McKinney's already playing a lot and has proved a lot in the second half of the year, in my opinion. So I'm not sure I quite agree with that. I do think this hurts Michigan's depth, but obviously this is a really good team. They go 9 deep regularly, so not a huge loss.
I mean, McKinney's also not one. He's a not ball dominant guard. He's more of a scorer. And this just the way Kaysen was able to play really enabled him to be a scorer. Now, if you're asking him to do more, I honestly kind of think it would more go the other way and make him worse. I would think a guy he didn't play a ton in this game, but a guy like Roddy Gale, you would hope can step in and just give you good minutes. I mean, he's also most certainly not a facilitator, but you just hope his veteran savvy can help you just kind of make the right play. McKinney is super talented. So
I think he's much more of a facilitator than McKinney.
I would agree. Yeah.
I mean, we've seen Roddy Gale be a secondary ball handler for a team. Now that team wasn't any good.
Yeah.
Well, but they did have the number 39 offense, so maybe they weren't that bad.
You want to know whose stock I honestly think if it improves anyone, it improves? Well, Adai Mara as a passer in this game was, truly masterful. He was excellent. But
that's what he is. I feel like every game I watch him and I'm like, oh my god, the passing is unbelievable. Yeah. And I look at the stat sheet and he's got 3 assists.
Yeah.
Adai Mara has to he's got an 18% assist rate. It feels like he has a 35% assist rate.
There was one play I remember when he caught it on the baseline, they doubled strong side, and then he just turned over and then just saw this perfect weak side pass, and it went through 2 defenders' hands, the perfect spot for just a catch, and I believe it was a Merez dunk. He was terrific, but if they go to Yaxel more as a lead ball handler, I think he's good enough to make it work. And that lineup, because it'd be without Cadeau, would be Yaxel, Merez, Mara, McKinney, Burnett, let's just say. The smallest guy on that lineup is 6'4". That's 6'4", 6'5", 6'9", 6'9", 7'3". That's just gigantic. And that's going to be so tough for an opposing team to match.
Jonathan?
Yeah, there's just one of the things I think we found out on Friday, there's not a ton you're learning, at this point in the year, late February, big games are fun, but we've seen these teams for 3 months now. We know what this is about. I think what we learned Friday, if anything, is it's going to take a special sort of physicality or shooting night to beat these guys. We saw it with Duke, the rare team that's able to match the physicality. And we saw, Wisconsin just go absolutely berserk from 3. Those are the 2 losses and the 2 games in the last couple months that Michigan has been competitive in.
Yeah. We're looking at this as, do we think that Duke, Michigan, and Arizona are just a step above physically everyone else in this sense as well.
You said Duke, Michigan, and Zona.
Yeah, like because
Florida's right there with them physically.
Yeah, I would say that too.
I mean, I would say honestly, I think Michigan State is as physical as those teams. They're not like
they're just not as skilled.
Yes,
at all.
Not nearly as skilled, but I think they're like definitely there in terms of physicality.
Speaking of Florida, we had like a big SEC discussion on Friday, and what Florida did to Arkansas only confirms everything that I thought about the SEC. The SEC is soft. The SEC is terrible this year, but Florida's really good.
Hey, I figured out the proper way. We were talking about Arkansas on the preview on Friday, Sam.
Yeah,
I figured out the proper way to express what we were trying to say.
well,
Arkansas is a soft defensive team. They are not a soft offensive team.
correct.
Oh, to answer this question, Daniel, he killed a. What did before? Wait, hold on. Well, the question is: ask Jonathan what Daniel did March Madness 2022 before the first day. Well, the morning of the first day of the 2022 tournament, Daniel he murdered someone. It was a spider.
Was it a ritual sacrifice?
No, it was sort of just in the moment thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe if he wanted to like have a good first day of the tournament, it should have been a ritual sacrifice. But whatever. I'm just an ideas guy here.
Okay, bubble of the year. All right. What does the bubble of the year think about the SEC?
I mean, I think Florida's pretty definitively the best team in the SEC, even though they've gotten a pretty soft schedule. Like they didn't have to go.
No, it's not that they've gotten a soft schedule. It's that the other teams in the conference are soft.
Well, I mean, I don't think they had to go at Alabama, at Tennessee, or at Arkansas. So I'd say it's soft in that sense. But like, yeah, aside from them, like, is there a team I really definitively believe in? Tennessee, no. Like Tennessee had that game yesterday more than one.
I hate this Tennessee team.
Yeah, I don't trust them at all. Like Nate Ament went down. I don't know if we've had any update on his status, honestly. That changes everything because they don't really have offense. Like they're a good offensive rebounding team. That's really all they had against Bama. But when you miss the first time and then you miss the second time, then you miss the third time, you don't get it the fourth time every single time. Bama, I don't trust. Phylon's awesome, but like there's a reason they tried to add a G League player midseason. Yeah, just the rest of the SEC I don't really trust aside from Florida. I think it's pretty weak. Like,
what about 20-win Mizzou?
It was literally the next team I was going to mention. Like, just they're going to make the tournament. Good for them, Jimmy Dykes was on the broadcast, like, Mizzou, that's a team that could win a couple games in the tournament. And I turned to my roommate, the person I was watching.
What tournament?
Oh, God, please no.
Just CBI, maybe?
We couldn't win a couple games in the CBI.
No, I think Mizzou could win a couple games in the CBI.
I think they could win the first. I think they could win a 7-10 game or an 8-9 game. Like that's about it. I mean, this team, like that defense has no hope of beating someone, in the second round.
Hey, it's the number 77 defense this year. It's Dennis Gates' best defense.
Yeah,
actually, it's not. Last year was Actually, it's not. Last year was 68.
So running through the SEC.
Ken Pom last year. I feel like we forget that.
Yeah. Running through the SEC real quick. Florida, I like a lot. Tier 1 title contender, in my opinion. Like, they're just as good as those other three. Arkansas, I'll still praise. I like that team. They're not a great defensive unit.
They're so inconsistent.
They're not a great defensive unit, but I think they're talented, and they have a point guard who is one of the best in the sport.
5 minutes in what Arkansas you're getting. If you're getting good Arkansas or bad Arkansas.
Oh, yeah.
Jonathan, Arkansas has allowed 100+ points now twice in their last 2 away games.
Well, I guess it's a good thing the NCAA tournament is not played on the road.
I mean, to be fair, one of those games went to double overtime, which they had still already allowed 100 points.
Arkansas was 105 in regulation.
Arkansas
95 in regulation.
Has not allowed 100 at a neutral site this year.
They allowed 94 to Houston.
They did allow 94.
which I think is Houston's highest total. Actually, no, they broke that yesterday.
So I like Arkansas because their offense is just electric and they have guard play. And like Bama, I guess like theoretically could just like variance their way to a Sweet 16. Can't really see them getting further than that. Outside of them, like no one in this conference I'm excited to, pencil in their name in the NCAA tournament. Tennessee, no. Vandy, I think, peaked already.
Mm-hmm.
We mentioned Mizzou, like could win a game, sure. Like some of these teams like could absolutely win one game, but like not more than that. Like Georgia, I think is terrible. Who else am I even missing?
Kentucky
at this point. Kentucky's totally not trustworthy at all. Like their highs aren't even that high, to be honest.
Texas
Like,
A&M.
A&M is a corpse. Texas is like a physical offensive team, but like totally unwatchable and horrible defensively. If this Auburn team makes the tournament at this point, like we need to completely change the way we do this.
Honestly, if I was the tournament czar, I would have listened to Bruce Pearl's comment and what he said. I'd be like, all right, you're banned. Your team's banned from the tournament. You have to serve a postseason.
This is why this was a Titus and Tate theory from a couple years ago when they were still doing their pod. I think it was Titus who said that there needs to be in the selection room a vibes guy who like can step in and be like, yeah, this team needs to be in the tournament for the vibes. Auburn is the opposite of that. Like
I am in Indianapolis. If nominated, I will run. If elected, I will serve. I will be the vibes guy.
Auburn has lost 7 of its last 8 games. The one win was by 1 point. And they probably shouldn't have won that game.
That one win was against Kentucky in a game they did not deserve to win.
They lost to Ole Miss yesterday. Shout out a 12-17 Ole Miss team now.
Mississippi had lost 10 games in a row before that one.
Yeah, I don't even think Mississippi's messed around with their lineup so much. Yeah. Malik Dia played. Look at AJ Storr putting up 26 points. What a Chad.
Sam, AJ Storr finishing off his college career with senior day. AJ Storr's senior day is a week from today. It's a week from yesterday. Just the last player in the country that deserves to have a senior day.
One more year. One more year.
Hey, you never know.
One more year. Yeah, it would be at a different school.
It feels like decades ago that this guy was like a promising freshman at St. John's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 schools ago. He's been in 4 different conferences.
The hilarious thing, the thing that makes the AJ Storr saga 10 times funnier is that he went to 4 different high schools too.
Yes.
I think it was 5.
Yeah, AJ Storr. Hey, also worth noting, Money Mike Anderson never had a losing season.
Sam, do you know who Auburn plays midweek this week?
Is it South Carolina?
No, it's not.
LSU.
It's LSU. They play them at home.
Dead team.
Sam, I have been an avid hater of this LSU team, but way more than is necessary for a team that has never been good. I would do a lot of things for LSU to win that game this week.
It would be really funny.
I mean, so now that Didon's hurt, who the hell does LSU have that does anything?
PJ Carter.
Their highest usage player is Mike Nwoko.
Okay, Mike Nwoko, I see you. Yeah. He was mid for Canada this summer.
I cannot believe that this roster was built and there's no way when this roster was built anyone in that building could have thought they were going to be a good defensive team.
Who? LSU?
LSU. They did not grab one single good defensive player in the portal.
No, they didn't.
I mean, like, how many teams really look at defense in the portal? Let's be real here. Like, I mean, every single portal pickup's awesome because these guys average a number, and we just look at the number and go, oh, when they can't play like a defense. We have people hyping Abdi Bashir. That guy couldn't guard me.
Sam, how many times do we echo in the offseason that, like, college basketball analysts, like, in the summer completely forget that, like, defense exists?
Every single year. I just go so much the other way. That's why
I was so high on Michigan, because I thought they were going to be this generational defense, and they have been.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about this every year, and we talk about fit. And it's what we do in the offseason. It's why we do the team breakdowns and why we do the team previews and talk about every team in depth, because it's about the fit. It's about the offense and the defense. It's not just about stacking points per game, St. John's. And St. John's actually been really good. They were awesome.
We should talk Texas Tech, by the way.
Yeah, that was the game of the weekend.
Yes, we absolutely need to. Texas Tech 84. Iowa State 73. 82-73. JT Toppin didn't play. Christian Anderson only scored 14 points. And I say only scored 14 points. And I said Lawan Watts would need to have a big game for them to win this game. Lawan Watts scored 5 points and had played only 25 minutes. All of a sudden, Texas Tech has a bench now? Like, where did that come from?
Tyree Bryan would have been nice if you decided to play basketball a little earlier this year.
Yeah. But Texas Tech was up 20 in the first half of this game.
Yeah. So one of our talking points on Friday when we were discussing this game, it's like, I didn't think that Texas Tech was going to be able to go into Ames and win. Like, because, like, nobody does, like, in the last couple years. But I think that, like, the thing that we pointed out that was spot on in this game is, like, Texas Tech is a very, very different team without JT Toppin. Whether they're better in the long run, like, obviously they're not going to be. But right now, you have, like, 2 games of film on them without JT Toppin, and their offense looks completely different.
Just looking back at this box score, I am stunned Jalen Petty only had 12 points. It felt like he made every single big shot in this game. He was terrific. He was really the guy I came away most impressed by. I thought he was just masterful in this one. Like, to everything Lidskin said, their defense just looked, their offense, looked completely different. They're like fully committed to just purely spacing the floor. And especially in the minutes when Bung Boye isn't out there, and he only played half the game, he was out with 5 fouls. It was just a straight 5 out that Iowa State had no answers for. And even Taman Lipsey did a decent job on Anderson, just like annoying him, but like it wasn't enough to largely affect Anderson. He had 6 turnovers, but like honestly, with this current version of A&M, considering when he wasn't turning the ball over, they were getting a wide open layup. I think you take it that he just has to play more aggressively, and you have to take the turnovers with everything else he can give you. And he was terrific in this game.
Yeah. I'm with you on Texas Tech kind of just being. Here's my thing about Texas Tech. What I said about them on December 21st, after they beat Duke, was that they lead the country in culture wins. Mm-hmm. How many more culture wins have they had since then? The Houston game, the Arizona game, the Iowa State. It feels like they get so many culture wins.
You don't think beating Kansas State at home by 28 was a culture win?
It was a culture loss for Kansas State.
Absolutely it was.
But yeah, I think that every logical basketball thing that I've learned about this sport in the last 21 years of my life goes out the window when I'm discussing this Texas Tech team.
Oh, I actually disagree. One thing so full disclosure, just the reason I am bringing this up, I don't want to like toot my own horn, but like I did bet Texas Tech in this game against the number. The reason I did was because Iowa State has struggled against teams that can really space the floor and really space out their defense. It's just like teams that really consistently get up a ton of threes, like really want to shoot threes. Like Iowa State forces teams to shoot threes, but teams that just want to do that generally have success against them. That's why I kind of like this from a matchup angle. And it really opened up the lane because Iowa State was pot committed on trying to stop the 3. Once Texas Tech hit like 5 of their first 7 or whatever it was, then the lane just fully opened up and there were just dunks galore.
Yeah, the best way to beat a no middle defense is just elite spacing.
Yeah.
Where do we want to
Iowa
go
State
next?
now.
Unless you have something else.
I want to talk the Iowa State side.
Okay.
They beat Kansas, they beat Houston, but to lose this game at home after the BYU loss, where do we stand on the Cyclones heading into the last 2 games of the regular season? They play Arizona tomorrow on Big Monday.
I still think they're a very good team, but like they're not. They're a team that I think is in that category of good enough to beat the champion, not good enough to be the champion.
Yeah.
I think I've whittled them completely off of my national championship contender list. And I think I'm down to, like, I'm at this point, I think I'm definitely just down to Duke, Michigan, Arizona, Florida. We said this about Todd Golden last year, Dallahan. The close your eyes and imagine it test has failed.
I think I said it on Friday. Iowa State miserably fails the close your eyes and picture it test.
Yes, absolutely.
So does Illinois.
What I'll say though is I think I'm down to Duke, Michigan, Arizona, Florida. I don't think Illinois can be an.
Those are the 4 best teams.
Those are the 4 best teams.
And honestly, I'm after doing the whole after going through the SEC thought process that we've gone through over the last couple of days, I might be kind of not fully out, but kind of out on Florida in that sense. Just because maybe they're just pounding through the SEC because nobody's close to their physicality, and when they run into a team that has that level of physicality, they'll lose maybe. Because if you'll remember, they did lose those games early in the season to UConn, to Duke, and to Arizona. Although all 3 of those games were close, they're playing better now, so maybe they are still in. You could go either way on that, but I think you cannot dispute Duke, Michigan, Arizona, Florida. Maybe I'm being the one friend who's a little too woke in saying that they're maybe not because the SEC is soft. But yeah, those are the 4. If you had to place a bet, #gambling podcast, on a team that was not one of those 4 to win a national championship, who would it be?
Are we talking who do we think is the 5th best team, or are we trying to find value here?
No, not trying to find value. Just 5th most likely to win the national championship.
UConn.
Yeah, UConn. I think it would be UConn as well, just because they've done it before, and I really don't trust this. I don't like this version of Houston.
It's the theory that hey, maybe they're just coasting through the Big East, and they I don't know if we talked a ton about that I can't remember if we talked a ton about that St. John's game. But there's not much to talk about. And then they coasted through Seton Hall. They should have lost that game. And they're going to play Marquette next Saturday, and then they're going to play in the Big East tournament. And what's going to happen is they're going to play their first game. They'll coast through it, win by 8 against the 8 seed. Then they'll play probably Seton Hall or someone in the second round. They'll go up 15 in the first half, and they'll win by 6. And then they'll go and play a war in the final against St. John's.
I have 2 futures bets for the NCAA tournament right now.
#gambling podcast. We really are a gambling podcast right now.
One of them is Arkansas 9-1 to make the Final Four. And the other is UConn at 18-1 to win the title.
I have my preseason San Diego State national title at 300-1.
It's still alive.
Come on, make the tournament, boys! Come on, Aztecs! You got this, baby! Give me 3 threes a game and we got this, boys! Let's go!
Speaking of San Diego State, 81-76 New Mexico wins. Tommy Bullion.
How is this the Mountain West mid-major game we're talking first? Or excuse me, the West Coast mid-major game we're talking first.
We'll get to St. Mary's. He mentioned
San
Diego State.
Oh,
I mean, segue, Lidskin, ever heard of it?
Sort of.
I mean, I'm just completely out on the Mountain West. This is a fun New Mexico team. I like Tannett, Bullion, Hall. I like these guys. I don't think they can win much in the NCAA tournament.
I like
And
Utah State.
I'm pretty out on Utah State at this point.
Relative, you know.
I think
I'm on pretty strong fade the Mountain West.
They're all round one very matchup dependent. Like Utah State, I don't remember who they played last. It was UCLA, and it's just like that is the worst possible matchup.
It's the most irrelevant 7-10 NCAA tournament game of all time.
I was so ready to pick Utah State to like win 2 games in the tournament, and then I saw that drew UCLA, and I was like, fuck.
I just need Air Force to win their first conference tournament game.
0. That Air Force team is as dead teams get. They're dead.
On the power rankings of teams that have quit, they're number 1.
We said this like 2 weeks ago.
Not what you want from your military.
They have quit with a capital Q.
Speaking of teams that have quit with a capital Q, Memphis. 12.
Oh my God.
Did they play today?
Yes.
They've lost 6 in a row. They got pumped by East Carolina this afternoon.
Oh God!
East Carolina's 252nd in Ken Pom.
Shout out Jordan Riley, baby.
Jordan Riley had a ridiculous poster dunk today.
Yeah, he can fly.
He also had 31 and 12.
Listen, Doug McDaniel is playing in road games, so things could be worse.
Is Aaron Bradshaw playing, or has he just decided he's done with basketball?
Well, playing is a very loose term, but he's on the court.
Okay, he is still out there. Hell yeah.
All right, we've got Gonzaga St. Mary's. St. Mary's wins at 70-59. $1 million roster. That's a multi-million-dollar roster. But yeah, St. Mary's goes on 2 kill shots in the second half, as well as an 18-2 run. So the Gales pull away and beat Gonzaga 70-59 after trailing by 10 in the first half. What impressed you guys the most?
These St. Mary's Gonzaga games at St. Mary's are like some of the funniest games on an annual basis.
Yeah.
Every year I feel like I watch the same game. Like when St. Mary's gets Gonzaga at home, like they do not do a single thing wrong.
Well, 2 years ago they actually lost.
That never happened. It was erased from the history books.
But you remember the game where Aiden Mahaney just like scored like 20 points in a row?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if you Aiden Mahaney side tangent. They played UC Irvine, and like UC Irvine ISO'd Mahaney. They scored on him to make it a 4-point game. Then Mahaney got a tech, and it completely it was a bullshit tech, but he got a tech with like 37 seconds left that just killed them. They couldn't win because Mahaney. I didn't even know Mahaney was capable of like emotion. I didn't know how he could get a tech, but he did.
Did you not watch the UConn BC exhibition from UConn URI exhibition from last year?
I don't think that was available for someone in Indiana. So no, I didn't.
I watched it on UConn Plus.
we should this is fun.
This is an off-season topic.
But
I appreciate the question, Harrison, but it's an off-season topic.
Just in terms of this game, St. Mary's, I mean, they're shooting 41% from 3 in league play. They shot 48% in this game. They just got open 10-0 threes. And Mikey Lewis just decided he wanted to play like an All-American yesterday, and had 31, 4, and 4.
Yeah, this Gonzaga offense like still needs Braden Huff back really badly.
And then this Josh Dent guy, oh my God, he's going to be the most hateable. If he was like at Duke or like Illinois or something, oh my God, everyone would hate this kid. He just drains threes, and then he's just such a dick when he's like walking up the court. He just looks like such an asshole, and I love him. That he's like he's very close to being a my guy. I love him.
Okay, St. Mary's 13th in Torvik in the month of February. Do you know who's number 9, Jonathan?
In the month of February, who's number 9?
Yep.
That would be the Blazers of UAB.
That would be Wes Miller and the Cincinnati Bearcats.
Where does Jake Diebler and his Ohio State Buckeyes rank?
23.
They're coming. They're coming.
That's including today, by the way. Sorry. So February into March 1st. So the last 29 days. Jonathan, what other
St. Mary's
games you
could do
wanna
no
discuss?
wrong here.
Yeah,
Jonathan, what else do you want to discuss from yesterday?
Sam, I would like to discuss.
this Andrew McKee. Sorry, I'm bringing this back up. This game, he had 8 rebounds in this game. Andrew McKeever, the 7-footer off the bench for St. Mary's, 0 defensive rebounds. He had 8 offensive rebounds. Those are all his rebounds for the game.
I like McKeever a lot.
Yeah, that rules.
Okay, I have a couple of just like kind of thoughts on some games. Actual
Oh,
thoughts.
I do as well.
Clemson got the 3-point variance game back. If you remember, we talked about Clemson's 3-point variance negatively. 8 for 21 offense, 10 for 36 defense. They beat Louisville 80 to 75. They were up 15 with a minute left, so it's not as close as the score indicates. There wasn't a team in the country that needed a win this weekend.
Playing hurt
more than Clemson, and I am like so out on this Louisville team.
Is there a more predictable team in the country right now outside of the top 3, maybe 4 than Louisville?
It's unbelievable because they are the most high variant. They are so high variance that they're low variance.
They're the only high variance team in the history of the sport that like can't beat anyone good.
Mikel Brown now he's playing through the back injury, but he is very clearly hurt and not himself. And I don't know whatever nerd is trying to convince you Adrian Woolley can do everything Mikel Brown can do. They are lying to you. That nerd is fake news. We're out on that nerd. That nerd is too nerdy.
That was me this summer.
Sorry, Sam. Nerd out.
Just you wait. Junior year Adrian Woolley is going to be a stud.
I mean, he is a killer, but like he's just not the athlete. Just the
he's a year away. He's a year away.
I don't love that this offense has turned Isaac McNeely into a de facto Jack Golke character. Because he's way better than that, and they're not using him how I thought they would.
They're using him exactly how I thought they would.
I did not think he would have a 14% usage rate.
Why did he go there?
I just think Rain Smith had a 17% usage rate. He's Rain Smith is what he is.
I thought he was way better than Rain Smith.
Because he is way better than Rain Smith.
He is way better than Rain Smith. It's just so obvious that he was going to be used as Rain Smith.
Do you remember the story of his commitment?
Rain Smith?
No, McNeely.
No, what was it?
Ryan Conwell committed to Louisville. McNeely didn't know, so he calls them and was like, "Hey, I'm committing." They're like, "We just got Ryan Conwell." And he's like, "Oh." Puts down the phone, then calls him back. "Can I still come?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure." That was it. That like every single team could use an Isaac McNeely, but the one he went to. They already have a guy for that.
Yeah. That's not a great decision to spend your senior year there.
No, not at all. A couple other games. Staying in the ACC, what on earth is going on? And what on earth went on at Maple Pavilion? Just total disaster for SMU.
SMU doesn't guard. That's what's going on.
SMU's bad. They're just bad.
They're fun, but they don't guard anyone.
I don't think they're fun. I don't think an Andy Enfield coach team can be fun.
I thought they were pretty fun when Evan Mobley was at USC.
There have been exactly 2 fun Andy Enfield teams. The Evan Mobley team, which was fun because they had Evan Mobley, and the Florida Gulf Coast team that threw lobs against Georgetown.
I didn't enjoy
Evan Mobley is going to end up getting Andy Enfield 8 more years at a high major school than he probably should.
Yes, absolutely. Andy Enfield and SMU now 19-10. This year they actually do have quad 1 wins, unlike last year. It's just that they have 10 losses this time around.
Yeah, last year SMU and Wake Forest were the most get these guys out of here teams.
Yeah.
I mean, this is still a get these guys out of here team. It's just that there's so many more of them this year.
They're gonna make it. I mean,
Yeah, they're in.
They're
I
gonna
don't
make
think
it,
there's-
and they might even win a game. But like,
yeah,
oh my god, this team is so bad.
guards
If
win in March.
SMU,
They have
if
guards.
SMU and UCF play in the tournament, who are you picking?
If SMU plays UCF,
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever said this before, but if that is an NCAA tournament game, I will straight up not watch it.
there are a lot of thoughts running through my head right now, but I actually might pick Miami, Ohio to beat UCF if they play.
That feels like a lock to be the first game of the tournament.
SMU, UCF,
Yeah.
that would be awful for everyone that likes the sport.
If we get SMU UCF as the first game of the tournament, if we get SMU UCF in Philly, I'm straight up boycotting the tournament in Philly.
I mean, UConn would love to be paired with those two teams.
Oh my god,
That's
yes.
true. West Virginia 79, BYU 71. Come on, West Virginia. Just like, are we serious here? Like, I hyped you guys up when you guys got to 7-5 as you could make a run to the NCAA tournament if you won a couple of those games. You lose at home to Utah, you lose to Oklahoma State and TCU, and now you go and beat BYU. Like, come on, man. Like, stop trolling.
I think you're looking at the wrong story here. BYU is terrible.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Has been
Absolutely.
really bad since Saunders went down. And
It's been really bad since before Saunders went down.
defense,
Like
Mighty
18
Mormons.
Advancing getting upset in the first round is very much in play.
the Mighty Mormons do not stop anybody. They couldn't stop a cold.
Are they mighty?
Oh, that's a good question.
13th.
I think they have a couple
13th.
Mighty Mormons, but I don't think
Here's what I'll say. 16th in the Big 12 in free throw defense. Regression into the mean is coming.
There's no there's what's it called? The free throw defense isn't an accident. There's no distraction on the baseline because all the shots by Kai guys are on the other side.
So good. Braden Carrington at 32. Just thought that was worth mentioning.
I mean,
Yeah, absolutely worth mentioning.
another team that
Cincinnati
really
scored
struggles
90
against
again.
anyone that can shoot the ball in the perimeter, UCLA.
I can't quit on this UCLA team.
I can. They're terrible.
I mean, I absolutely can, but like, there's something about them that like makes me want to like them.
They have sauce in theory. It's just Mick Cronin just wants to bleed all the sauce and just make them tough. They're a
Okay.
sauce team. Which is
The
his
last-
thing at UCLA for the last 4 years. He recruits sauce players. They have sauce, and he just wants to remove all the sauce and make them tough. And then he complains that his team isn't tough. It's like, who knows?
All right. Duke 77, Virginia 51.
Oh, I've been waiting all this time to talk about the ACC Coach of the Year, Ryan Odom, and I'm glad we're finally getting to it.
It should be Jay Lucas.
I disagree, but Jay's having a great year.
It should be the one coach that Jay Lucas hasn't coached against.
I think there's a fascinating scenario where like Miami is in the 8-9 game paired with Duke, which is like allowed because they haven't played.
How
What if
does
they
that
play in
happen?
the ACC tournament?
Welcome to super conferences.
I'm out on that. That's a bunch of bullshit. I'm out on that.
I have good news. Every ACC team now has double-digit wins.
No, BC got a 10th win.
They got a 10th win on February 24th against Wake Forest. # keep coming.
The Wake Forest, Boston College. Now those are two coaches who have votes of confidence from the Wake Forest athletic director.
Jonathan, do you have any thoughts on the Duke game?
I thought that John Shire coached that game like he had something to prove because he understood, Odom was probably the favorite for ACC Coach of the Year going into that game. But, Duke is just a super complete team. Like Cam Boozer, I didn't even think was super great in the first half, but early Isaiah Evans barrage of threes and elite defense, pushed the lead out. Then Cam turned it on, and that was all she wrote.
I mean, I said the key to this game for Duke, for Virginia, was you have to win the 3-point battle. 7 of 35 versus 12 of 24 on the wrong end is not going to do that.
No, it's not.
Virginia's never going to beat a team that can match them on the interior. Like they're just like in terms of like shot blocking and offensive rebounding, like and the athleticism on the perimeter too and length. Like teams like that are just going to cook Virginia.
Is there a reason that like DeRitter has been like not great on the glass in the last 3 games? He's had 3, 4, and 2 rebounds in his last 3 games. That is probably like some of his lowest totals of the
Maybe
season.
some wear and tear, just not being as physical.
Yeah, and you're playing actually.
Miami is a super physical team on the boards too.
Yeah, and then NC State, like I don't know, maybe Darian Williams was just like bullying the kid.
NC State is 52nd in Torvik since February 1st. They lost.
Nothing that team does makes any sort of sense.
They lost in overtime to Notre Dame. Now, Jonathan, are you still putting all your money in your bank account on them money line tomorrow against Duke?
Oh, I'll be taking the plus 9.5 or whatever it is.
#gambling podcast.
Yeah. When
I think this blows it out the door.
And NC State wins tomorrow. I promise you.
Can I also make an NC State related bet?
Go.
Will Wade leaves to coach LSU next year, and he just completes the cycle.
Ooh.
See, that's where you're wrong. Matt McMahon actually has a vote of confidence from the Wake Forest athletic director.
I gotta say, that bit is pretty electric.
I love it. I love it.
Are you taking credit for Harrison?
I cannot believe he's getting another year.
Are you taking credit for Harrison Vapnick's line?
No. Harrison told me last year that Will Wade was going to go back to LSU.
Okay.
There's something about like LSU, like LSU needs like a new like president or chancellor or something like that, and I guess like Will like they
Andrew
might hire
Slater, LSU president.
They might. It was something about. There's
the governor said he was going to make the football hire.
There's something about like the McNeese, like president or something like that, getting the LSU president job and being like tight with Will Wade.
Didn't like the governor of Louisiana say he was going to hire the football coach?
Dude, like Trump said he was going to hire the football coach.
Southern U.S. politics is just basically college sports, and it's awesome. Yeah, Bruce Pearl's in Congress. Sure, yeah, all right, Bruce Pearl wants to run for Congress versus Paul Feinbaum. Sure, obviously, yeah. They're running to steal Herschel Walker's seat. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, yeah. This is a real country here, boys.
You forgot about Auburn legend Tommy Tuberville.
Just what a sport. What a sport.
Sports are the best. I can't wait for Todd Golden to be fucking governor of Florida in 7 years.
Anyone else have any thoughts on any of the games from yesterday?
Let me take a look.
Oh, shout out Mississippi Valley State.
Yeah.
2 wins.
Big win.
2 wins and two Division I wins this year. I think that's the most they've had in a while.
I mentioned the UCLA thing out of turn just because I wanted to make fun of them. We have Tomislav Buljan at I didn't pronounce his name right at all, and I didn't even try. At New Mexico rules.
He's awesome.
Creighton has lost 5 out of 6, and their only win is at UConn in that stretch.
They're terrible. Oh yeah, NC State losing to Notre Dame. They were up like 15 at one point. They just decided, we're done here.
Can I talk about Howard?
Spit, hell yeah.
Howard has won its last 7 games in the MEAC by 28, 19, 28, 26, 22. Sorry, 32, 33, 25. They won at Morgan State by 25 yesterday. Morgan State was tied with them for the conference lead. My hot take is there is not a single team in the country right now that is further ahead of the rest of their conference than Howard?
We will be talking about a team later that I think now is further ahead than Howard, but other than them, I do agree with you.
All right, Jonathan. I think we're ready to go into the meat of tonight's show. We're 50 minutes in, and it's finally time.
Thank God, dude. We didn't talk about Miami, Ohio at all.
I mean, there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about.
There's nothing to talk about. They didn't even play this weekend.
Is the point guard's arm, was that fake news like Travis Steele said, or is he like actually out long term? That's
We
the
think
only
it's fake news.
Well, I can tell you who is out long term. That speaker.
I hardly know her.
Yeah, I don't. That guy lost it.
ASUN time.
Oh, let me pull up my ASUN bracket right here.
The number 1 seed is Central Arkansas. The number 2 seed is Austin P. Number 3 is Queens. 4 is Lipscomb. 5-12, Florida Gulf Coast, North Alabama. 6-11, West Georgia, North Florida. West Georgia is ineligible to make the NCAA tournament. 7-10, Eastern Kentucky, Stetson. 8-9, Bellarmine, Jacksonville. Jonathan, who you got?
Why the hell is the first round at North Florida's arena and the rest is at something called VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena? Sorry, you were asking who I think is going to win the tournament?
North Florida's arena is in Jacksonville, and I just think that the rest of the arena in Jacksonville that they're using is unavailable for the rest of the game for that night, and they are they couldn't afford it or whatever, and they are just using it for the last 3 nights.
Austin Peay's got an elite playmaking point guard, and I know they lost 2 in a row to end the year, but they'd been playing really good basketball for the entirety of conference play before that. So I'm going to go with Austin Peay.
I don't like that. I agree with Lidskin just because I wanted to be different in this segment. But I think Austin Peay is just kind of the most balanced team in this league. I don't trust Central Arkansas. Like, Cam Hunter is awesome, but I just don't fully trust them. I think Austin Peay's got a little bit more balance. I think they're more like style agnostic, and just in that sense, I pick them. They turn teams over really well. They can shoot the ball. Like, they're one team in this league that like kind of plays defense versus the rest of them just don't even try and just try to outscore you. Mm-hmm. Hopefully defense matters a little bit, and then Austin Peay can take this. If it doesn't, they're not. But I don't trust Central Arkansas. Queens just I think this is I think you're really deciding between the 1 through 4. Queens best offense.
Queens does not play any defense. Literally does not play defense.
And then
they also they got swept by Central Arkansas. Mm-hmm. I think they played Austin Peay once and lost.
What I think is going to happen, I think Queens could lose to West Georgia.
West Georgia not eligible for the NCAA tournament.
Correct. I mean, Queens and West Georgia just played recently, and I guess Queens won by 7. But I think that West Georgia did beat Queens earlier in the year when they played them at home. And I think that here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to go Austin Peay, and I'm going to go Austin Peay over Lipscomb in the final.
I'm reading some of the notes on this right now. So the first round, like I said, is being played at North Florida's arena, except for North Florida's game, which is being played at Jacksonville. However, North Florida doesn't play Jacksonville in the first round, but if they did play in the first round, and North Florida was the higher seeded team that played at UNF. What a strange sight, directing.
I love that. Hell yeah, A-Sun.
That's like the most fun thing about these low major, mid major tournaments is some of these seeding and site directing things are absolute nonsense.
The Horizon League bracket, which we will talk about later, is terrorism.
It's the single dumbest bracket ever.
It's not a bracket. It's a conglomerate of games.
Private equity came in and just tried to make their tournament.
The Horizon League is actually going to cancel their tournament, and they're just going to play a round robin for the next couple weeks until they realize that March Madness started and they're not a part of it.
Big South time, Jonathan. Big South. I think this is a two-team race, and I think we've talked about it all year. But shout out to Zach Chu and Radford for finishing in third place.
I will go first. I don't have much to say other than you spoke about Howard being the team that is furthest above the rest of their league. I think now it is High Point because Logan Duncombe is out, and it does not sound good. I don't think he's playing. I don't think he's playing for the rest of the season, just based on the weird comments we've gotten from the coach. I don't think this is close. I think this is High Point. I would price this at like 70% High Point.
It's a good point.
Yeah, I don't think this is close either. With the Duncombe injury, I actually think Radford gets to the title game if Winthrop doesn't have him. And yeah, High Point has, taken care of Radford like pretty easily in the times they've played this year. So I think they'll do it a third time.
You're right. Yeah, I forgot about the Duncombe injury. That just really hurts. Yeah. I mean,
Winthrop was having a fantastic year.
That would have been a very good. Yeah, I mean, look, hopefully he is healthy, but like I really don't think he is. But like we're just speculating here. But like if he is, I think it's going to be a game. I would still take High Point, but like I think it like genuinely is a game. Without him, I just don't know how they score.
All right, it's time to talk about the Horizon League bracket.
Oh God, do we have to?
This is the worst bracket I've ever seen.
So I'll run through this real quick just so we know. So there is one conference tournament game tomorrow. It is the play-in game in the Horizon League tournament.
But it's not like an 8-9 game. It's not any of that. It is the 10-11 game. And the winner plays the 1 seed.
Yeah.
So there is no seeding logic in this whatsoever. Cleveland State versus IU Indy tomorrow opens the champ weeks. And that is our favorite team, IU Indy, against Rob Summers, formerly of Dennis Gates' staff. Always exciting stuff. So the first round matchup is going to be as follows. The 1 versus 10 or 11 seed, the 2 versus 9, 3 versus 8, 4 versus 7, and 5 versus 6. Then the 3 highest teams remaining after that second round advance to the semifinals. The other 2 teams have to play a play-in game in a de facto quarterfinal. Then there's no like reseeding or anything like that, depending on who wins the quarterfinal.
I mean, it's already reseeded.
Oh yeah, that's true. Then we get to a normal semis and championship, which when it might include Doug Gottlieb is like anything but normal.
Remember, the first 2 rounds are on campus sites.
By the first 2 rounds, he means the 1 game.
Yeah, the play-in game and
the play-in game and like the first round.
Meanwhile,
I can't even call them the quarterfinals. Like the whatever finals they like. Yeah,
the quarterfinals, the second play-in game.
Meanwhile, for some unknown reason, there are 4 games on March 4th in that second round, and 1 game on March 3rd.
Gottlieb.
I have no idea why.
Gottlieb has to be different.
So I think they scheduled it where like they want to have the men's and women's all playing at 7 p.m. on the same day. But since the men's and women's teams would both be hosting at the same time, it doesn't work. So it makes even less sense the more you think about it.
Okay, my question, who the hell's going to win this thing?
The weird seeding like got me, but in the end, I just think Wright State is the most consistent team. Wright State, like, I just don't trust any team other than Wright State. What I know Wright State's going to do is they're going to offensively rebound the ball. They're going to rebound the ball on both ends. They're going to get to the free throw line, and you just have to hope they're hitting jump shots that day. They're going to get good shots. They're going to rebound. They're going to get to the free throw line. I trust them. I'm going to take them, even though they should have lost to Northern Kentucky yesterday, who is the 7, but it's really a toss-up. This entire league's a toss-up. I just trust them the most.
Yeah, I think that's fair. What I would like to say is that if you go since January 30th, this league, Robert Morris is the top team in Torvik. Detroit Mercy is second. They're the 2 and 3. Wright State is actually fourth since January 30th in Torvik. And not that that's the be all end all. My initial thought was through chaos, Campy must rise.
That was actually my thought too.
But I'm actually going to go with Detroit Mercy here because I think that it would be semi-likely that Oakland would end up playing in that quarterfinal game. And I wouldn't really want to pick a team to have to win 4 to win it. So I'll go Detroit Mercy. And I'll say they beat Oakland.
I'll take Bobby Moe.
Okay.
Like it.
They're just playing better than anyone else right now.
The worry for me with them is Josh Hill and Albert Vargas are both out, likely for a sustained period of time. They're just not very deep at this point. I don't know if they're able to do it.
I've also watched a little bit of this Detroit Mercy team over the last couple of weeks because they've been playing really well. They are they've been really, really good the last couple of weeks. They have figured it out on the defensive side of the ball. Mark Montgomery is doing a really nice job. Obviously, they allowed 89 yesterday, but they can score in a bunch of ways. They're the number 1 3-point shooting team in the conference, even though they don't take a lot of threes. So I'm going to go Detroit Mercy here.
I think this league is really a true toss-up.
Yeah.
NKU, I mentioned earlier, they're the 7, I believe.
I don't trust any of these teams, none of them at all.
Yeah, I could legitimately see 6 or 7 teams winning this.
Yeah, I agree. I think through 7, they're all live.
Are we going to talk Ivy Madness?
Let's save that.
Yeah, let's save that.
I did not print out the bracket. It didn't feel right. So what's next? The Sam Fetterman Conference.
The MEAC.
Yes. Get him back in here.
All right, DeRosa. I want to hear DeRosa's thoughts on the MAC.
I'm not gonna lie. You're not gonna get a ton of depth from me, especially with what's his face on Siena, just not being on the team anymore. The kid who played a ton.
Antonio Chandler.
He's on the team.
Well, he's not able to play in these games. Seemingly, no matter what, it's at least a distraction. Right now. Yeah, it's at least a distraction, which is just not what I want from a team that I think has a reasonable chance of winning this league. In the end, I was down to 2 just to pick my pick. Marist, just because they have the best defense and they have a system that is truly repeatable. What?
Marist not winning. They have 3 guys injured.
I was going to get to that, but yes, I'm not picking Marist. But they have typically when I pick these games, picking conference tournaments, I like picking teams that just play interesting systems that it's tough to prepare for on really quick turnarounds, quick notice. Even if you know them, it's still you want to drill these things into how you play them. Marist just not giving any sort of paint touch is just one that's tough to prepare for. And this team can actually guard the 3, but I don't think they can score. And another team that's really tough to prepare for and is just substantially more talented. Again, it's the chalk pick, but I think they're chalk for a reason. I think this is Merrimack all day.
I haven't.
What's Amari's status, Sam?
We don't know yet. I'm going to figure that out this week.
Yeah,
I think he'll be available though.
So Siena has questions, obviously, without Chandler.
And Casey Ugukazi should be ready for Friday, by the way, for Merrimack.
St. Peter's cannot score. Yeah. So I'm not picking them. Marist Quinnipiac is a really intriguing first-round game, in my opinion, whether Amari plays or not. But yeah, I kind of am with DeRosa here. Siena was my team in the preseason in this league, but they've had injury problems, haven't been able to really push through that at times. Merrimack is a tough team to prepare for, especially on, a day or two's notice. I'm going to take Merrimack.
Yeah, I would just say, I think I haven't fully made my predictions yet. I think I'm going to end up going with Merrimack. I will just say, though, Merrimack probably doesn't want to see Iona in that quarterfinal. They probably would have wanted to see either Sacred Heart, Fairfield, or Manhattan, anyone but Iona.
Sam,
Because
I have
because
of the
I want
brackets,
to play them tough twice.
of the brackets we have. I have filled out one game so far. What is it?
You say it. I can't say it.
I have picked Sacred Heart to beat Iona.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna lean Merrimack here. I'll have a full bracket in a couple weeks.
Couple weeks.
In a couple days.
There we go.
All right, let's
Sam
get.
Fetterman will be filling it out during the Sweet 16. Yes, let's go. This is extremely strange to look at with 11 teams and not 12. I don't think I like it. We need to add a 12. So first thing that caught my eye when I saw this, Bradley, Illinois State on semifinal Saturday. Place will be freaking electric if both of those teams to get through. Now, Illinois State going to have to probably get through a Northern Iowa team that plays really good defense, despite the fact that they cannot score the basketball. And Bradley going to have to get through a Valpo team that's played really well in the second half of conference play. So that's not a foregone conclusion, but a matchup I would love to see if we could get it.
Right, I'm going to go through predictions for each game right now.
What did you say?
I'm going to go through predictions for each game here, and you're going to tell me where I'm wrong.
Okay.
I'm going SIU over Drake.
Good pick. Drake's playing really bad. I think SIU's defense is like very real.
I'm going Valpo over Indiana State.
Agree with that.
Northern Iowa over Evansville.
Yeah, Evansville's just not very.
Hey, respect Connor Turnbull.
It's a tough job.
Butler legend.
Give me Belmont over SIU.
Mm-hmm.
UIC over Murray State. Give me Bradley over Valpo. Give me Northern Iowa over Illinois State.
Yeah, it's the result I absolutely could see. It would stink for me as a Valley fan to not get that matchup, but Ben Jacobson has obviously won in this tournament time after time. And so, it wouldn't surprise me to see Northern Iowa in the semis. The one thing that
this is the toughest matchup for me in the entire bracket, by the way. The UIC Belmont game.
The one thing I will say, by the way, is I don't expect them to win, and maybe it's not close either, but I think SIU could give Belmont a little bit of a scare in the quarters. They do a really good job of pressure.
I agree. I think that game will be
getting out the shooters.
I think that game will be very close. I can't decide on Belmont UIC, but I think I'm going to lean towards Northern Iowa over Bradley. And I am leaning into my bit as an enemy of the state.
That's fantastic.
But here's my thing about Northern Iowa. Defense travels in these settings. It's a lot of toughest team wins type of games.
Yeah.
And that's what they are. And that's why I feel confident about UIC in some of these games. But I think Belmont's just a little too much, and I'm going to go Belmont to win this tournament.
Yeah, Belmont and UIC played twice this year. They were two completely different games. One was played in the 60s, one was played in the 80s. So I think, the one thing you can bank on is it's going to be a close game. Maybe not the best atmosphere for a Valley semifinal, but two teams that have played well.
Yeah, so I'll go Belmont over Northern Iowa to win this tournament. And I think just you look at Belmont, it's so hard to pick against them, but I almost picked against them twice here, honestly.
Yeah, and I gave you a reason why their quarterfinal could be tough.
Belmont going through SIU, UIC, Northern Iowa to win this tournament. That's the top 3 defenses in the conference.
Yeah.
That is not a very good path for them. I'm just going to say it right now. Belmont, obviously, number 1 offense in the conference. So you would prefer if you didn't have to see the best defenses in the conference. And they have to, if this is the scenario. I think if they got Murray State in the semifinals, they would win by 20 again.
So the one thing that
they beat Murray State by 17 both times.
The one thing I want to add to this, Sam, and I thought you gave pretty good summary of the tournament here and pretty good analysis for all of these. I think like Illinois State is really intriguing with Chase Walker back. Like they were obviously the preseason favorite for whether you agree with it or not. But like they're a talented team, and the way they played the last 2 games with Walker back opened some eyes, I think. The problem is like they have a really tough draw with Northern Iowa. Like they can just because Northern Iowa could just shut your water off, and that's that. Like they did it to Belmont.
59-54 against Northern Iowa, and 71-69. So they swept Northern Iowa.
So, but tough to beat a team 3 times. So like you have to go through that defense. Then
especially especially if both of the games were close. Like if you blew out a team twice, it's not the same.
Right. And then in a semifinal, you got to go play maybe the best rivalry game in the Valley. So, and that's before you get to Belmont, who's been a juggernaut for most of the season.
Yeah, I'm going to be fairly brief. Fetterman pretty much stole my entire bracket. I was going to have Belmont over UNI, so I'm just going to be different and have him over Illinois State because Chase Walker is now back. Screw you, Fetterman. And I'm not going to lie, I just want Belmont to win this league because I think they'd be the most interesting team in the tournament, and I like watching them the most by a long shot. So I want Belmont to win. I think they're the best team. They're going to win. The one thing I am a little worried about is you kind of touched on it, but like in general in the Missouri Valley, if I remember correctly, it's just a lot of like we're getting a lot of like slop fest. It's just like it's really hard to shoot on these rims. Just a lot of ugly games. That does concern me with the Belmont team, whose entire thing is shooting.
Yeah, that's definitely been a thing in the past that people have talked about. I think like the way we've talked about this, like I think I said last week that I thought Belmont and UIC were the 2 best teams in the league, and like I still believe that. But even then, like I still think I'd rather have Belmont's path than Bradley or Illinois State.
I do think they get Murray State, and I do think they wax them. Murray State has
not been playing well. They've taken kind of the opposite path of what I thought they would take. I thought, the team full of transfers would take a little gel, and then mid-season they'd be clicking and they'd be rolling into the conference tournament. And it's been kind of the opposite. Like the more they got scouted, and they lost 4 in a row mid-season in conference play after starting 8-0. They lost 4 of their final, I think 6 to close the season. Some of those games were not very close. So.
Can I give a take that I don't think you're going to like?
Go.
Sure.
Riley Doman, I think he's a much better player in theory than he is in practice. Like the numbers are like good, but like I think he's a guy that's going to get like really hyped up this offseason. And this isn't a fade the French bit, though like it does kind of tie in, which I think is very funny. But like I really think he's just a much better player in practice. I don't think his handle is nearly as tight as people seem to think it is. He doesn't really have a perimeter game that I really trust. He's shooting it well from the perimeter, but like he's not a guy when like the ball leaves his fingertips, I really think it's going in. I think he's pretty overrated.
Hasn't been as good as I thought he would be. Definitely see what you're talking about.
Yeah, like he's going to struggle with anyone who can push him around a bit. And like I think he's a guy that's really going to get overhyped.
He kind of feels like a player that could be a better pro in like a loose setting.
I can see it. Yeah.
Not loose setting wasn't what I was going for, but like more one-on-one stuff, like more isolation stuff. Like I don't think he's like a great system player.
Yeah, I agree.
You want to go to the NEC?
Does anyone?
I have.
By the way, I think I'm going to end up picking Belmont, but like truly don't have a pick right now.
All right, so I have a pretty chalk bracket for the NEC.
Okay.
I think all 4 home teams win in the first round. Both home teams win in the semis, and then CCSU upsets LIU in the final.
Those 4 home teams, Mr.
Long Island, Lemoyne, Central, and Mercyhurst.
Long Island, Lemoyne, Central, and Mercyhurst. Yeah.
And what I'll say is, I think FDU beat Mercyhurst twice, but they were both close games. And I think it's tough to beat a team 3 times when the two games were close. And Mercyhurst is going to have the home crowd. It's their first conference tournament game, and I think they'll win. CCSU and LIU played twice this year. Obviously, everyone plays each other twice. Both of those games were before February started.
Mhm.
CCSU, since that last loss to LIU, is 7-1. Darren Smith, Max Frazier, Jay Rogers, big three. Best coach in this conference by a margin is Pat Sellers in my eyes. I think that's a coaching mismatch in the final, CCSU and LIU. Took CCSU a little bit of time to kind of figure it out in conference play, lost a couple games early. But I think they win this conference tournament. I think they get the job done.
I'll be pretty brief. I think LIU matches up tremendously with CCSU. I think they're the better team. I think
they are. That's the thing. They absolutely are the better team. There's a reason they won both of those games.
I think you are correct in saying Sellers is a substantially better coach than Strickland. I definitely agree with that. But just looking at this matchup, too, LIU is the best offensive rebounding team in the league. 8th best defensive rebounding team, Central Connecticut. I think they're going to eat them on the glass. They did in the second game when LIU won by 21. It was because they had 19 offensive rebounds. They dominated them on the glass. LIU gets to the line actually, LIU doesn't get to the line. Excuse me.
They don't get to the line.
Yeah, they don't get to the line. Another thing they do, though, is
they get to the line because you see the fins up posts every time.
Another thing they do is they turn teams over. I think Central Connecticut would turn the ball over in this setting, and LIU does a lot to really get to the rim.
I think Central is the best point guard in the league.
Yeah, they had pretty high rim rates in both of those games. I think they just consistently got better shots. They dominated on the glass, and just kind of all the little things that I really think will translate. More talented team that just plays a style that's really tough for. Excuse me.
CCSU. I agree with you. I just think that I've seen LIU play with their food too many times this year for me to pick them to win a conference tournament.
Maybe Malachi Davis's Instagram CCSU gets them to get his ex to hack his Instagram again and really throw him off the game before the game.
I'll tell you what I'm rooting for here. I'm rooting for Mercyhurst versus Lemoyne in the championship game. That way, the de facto third place game decides who goes to the NCAA tournament.
I mean,
that's what would happen.
Would that not be the single most electric thing in the history of our tournament?
That would be the most NEC thing ever.
Stonehill is eligible this year.
It is so NEC that I'm picking it to happen.
Good. Now
I have Lemoyne.
Now, here's my question: who would win? Like, does that game happen? Like, do they play an NEC championship game if it's Lemoyne versus Mercyhurst?
So I'll tell you right now, I have Lemoyne and their really good 2-point defense knocking off LIU in the semifinals. It would be the second time this year that Lemoyne beats LIU.
Yeah, that game was a total miracle. That Lemoyne won that game.
Well, let's get another one, baby.
Let's make it happen. You know I'd be in on that.
I'm taking Mercyhurst over a very well coached, like you said, Central Connecticut.
I mean, Mercyhurst is very well coached too.
Yeah,
that Mercyhurst is really good offensively. Jake Lemelman can really score. Bernie Blunt can really score. I like this Mercyhurst team. It's just that I think Central is going to beat them.
So I'll take Mercyhurst, and then I'll take Mercyhurst to win the tournament. But I'll take LIU in the third place game to reach the NCAA tournament.
My question remains: would there be an NEC championship game if the championship game is Lemoyne versus Mercyhurst? Because you only get one TV slot.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Then the real game to see who makes the NCAA tournament is on NEC front row?
Dude, screw Rob.
Well, that's the question. Would they even play that game?
Screw UConn Plus. NEC front row is where you got to go, Fetterman.
Screw Rod Strickland. Get Nate Champion on national TV.
Like, that's my question, though. Do they play the game?
Yes.
Yes. You can't rob those kids of not competing for the NCAA tournament.
No. Like, I would assume. Like, I genuinely no idea if they would play that game.
Well, I think they play that game, and then it would just be, it doesn't matter because LIU makes the tournament anyway, right? Because they were the 1 seed, and that's what they default to.
Because the 2 semifinal losers would play.
They play each other.
They actually would do that?
Yeah.
That fucking rule. I thought this was a bit. That fucking rules. I am rooting for this now.
That's my question. That's my question of why would they play the championship game? Because you only get 1 TV slot.
You can't not have teams compete for a league title.
I agree. But would you just put that game on NEC front row? And
you put Rod Strickland on NEC. You get as many eyes to NEC front row as possible. All 12 of us.
If Nate Champion,
raise your hand if you've watched multiple games on NEC front row this year.
If Nate Champion beats Rod Strickland for a second time this year and then gets bumped to NEC front row, I will be starting a riot.
I think that's my favorite thing you've ever said on the podcast.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Can you put that in the quote list?
Oh, I would love to.
Ohio Valley.
Finally got to talk on.
Is that it? Is that all our analysis?
I mean, I don't have NEC analysis.
No, OVC.
Oh, OVC? Ohio Valley. Give me Lindenwood over Little Rock. Give me SIUE over Eastern Illinois. Give me SIUE over UT Martin. UT Martin has been pretty bad recently. Give me SEMO over Lindenwood. Give me Tennessee State over SIUE. Give me SEMO over Morehead State. And give me SEMO over Tennessee State.
Fuck you! Stop picking the teams. I have this all written down. Stop fucking picking my teams. God damn it. Yeah, I have SEMO as well. I actually have UT Martin beating Tennessee State.
I do as well.
Yeah. The thing, I would be picking UT Martin if I trusted them at all to either A, hit 1 jump shot, or B, not turn the ball over every single possession. Just because, like, if they just didn't do those 2 things, they would walk away with this league. But they are
they're so, like, clearly the best defense by a lot.
Yeah. No, it's not even close. But one thing they do that is really, it's just the fact that they turn the ball over a ton and they shoot a ton of threes, but they never fucking make them. One thing that I think you could point out if you want to make the UT Martin argument is when they really struggled, like kind of recently, like losing February 7th, February 12th, it was because they had to play 5 games in 12 days. They got a week off. They whooped Tennessee Tech, and then they played Tennessee State, and they actually played terrible in that game. But, like,
got totally shellacked.
You can just hope that was an off game, but, like, I don't know.
I want to give a shout out to Nolan Smith.
Yeah.
Significantly better in the first year than I thought.
I think Tennessee State's the most talented team in this league, I think by a pretty wide margin, but I think Brad Korn is a much better coach than Nolan Smith.
I agree.
I guess we just shouted him out, and then I'm like almost immediately drawing that back. But
no, it's a shout out. I don't think he's like an awesome coach, but it's a shout out because he had an awesome year.
Yeah. SEMO, they get to the rim a lot and they draw a ton of fouls and they do not let teams get defensive rebounds on them. I'm just hoping they can make their free throws. It's not a lock by any means, but they're going to get to the rim. They're going to put the ball up, and when the other team misses, they're going to grab it. And I just got to hope they make their free throws. If they make their free throws, they're going to win this league. And if they shoot 22 of 47 from the free throw line, which is very possible, they're going to lose, and it's going to be the worst possible game to be the first championship.
I mean, I've loved like Landron Blocker all year. Just terrific defensive player, really physical. And then I like Braxton Stacker. I like BJ. Like, I like these guys that seem.
Almodovar has one of the craziest posters of the year.
Yeah, Almodovar. He's good too. Like, I like a lot of these guys. So yeah, I'm going to SEMO. Jonathan.
So I'm with you guys on the championship matchup. I have UT Martin versus SEMO.
Well, I had UT Martin losing to SIUE.
Oh, Okay. I agree with DeRosa then on the championship matchup. I have UT Martin versus SEMO. And every logic piece that I'm coming up with says SEMO should win this game, but I can't quit this UT Martin team after the starts of the year they had, and talking about their identity on this pod with Jeremy Schulman. So I'm going to take UT Martin.
All right, Jonathan, Patriot League time. The Patriot League runs through Alumni Hall in Annapolis, Maryland. If the Naval Academy isn't called into service over the next week, which this is #politics podcast.
No longer a gambling podcast.
Well, disagree. We're on Kalshi betting on world leaders getting killed.
Hey, don't call it betting. It's very specifically trading.
It's predictive. Yeah.
It's obviously betting. Kalshi sucks.
Yes.
I hope that Kalshi is listening to this. Shove it up your ass. You suck.
No, Kalshi, sponsor me. Pay me. I'll shove the shit out of you. Pay me. Give me the money.
Yeah, but DeRosa does not have any morals. We know that.
For the right amount of money. And Kalshi's morally upstanding. Sam, don't ruin my bag before I get it.
I just want to say, so last year the Patriot League lost a ton of awesome seniors. This year they just have a ton of awesome freshmen. So
yeah,
fun league. BU American will be a really fun game. It was just a really fun game this past week. BU has Chance Gladden and Michael McNair, two of the most exciting players in the sport right now. Gladden is this electrifying freshman point guard. McNair is one of the best shooters in the country.
McNair is great.
And then for American, you've got a bunch of guys back from that championship team last year. Mayock, Greg Jones, Wyatt Nausidis, Jeff Spruce, Julian Iturbe. So neither of those teams are going to beat Navy, is what I'll say. And if you think I'm betting on Brett Reed to beat Matt Langle in an NEC tournament game, you're going to be missing. Sorry, in a Patriot League tournament game. I know that Lehigh beat Colgate twice. Those games were by a combined 2 points. Give me the Raiders to make the conference final, even though they've lost 4 of their last 5.
I don't think anyone's beating Navy.
If Jalen Cox is healthy. If Jalen Cox is healthy. They're not winning if Jalen Cox isn't healthy.
I'm very much in on this Navy team.
I was out on them for a while. I'm in on them now.
I think they're by far the best team in this league. I think this historic season that they've had results in an NCAA tournament bid. And I'll say over Colgate.
Yep.
Navy is the best defense in this league by a pretty decent margin. They're the best offensive rebounding team in this league by a decent margin. They're the best team at getting to the line by a decent margin. They're the second best 2-point shooting team. They're the second best 3-point shooting team. Yeah, I think this is Navy in a rout. And then I think you get all the red-blooded Americans, baby, really picking them in the first round. And then they lose to the most godless team, the most un-American team possible in the first round. Who would that be?
Arkansas.
Yeah. Arkansas just waxes them. Just belt stacks.
I mean, Navy would be a 15 seed, right?
I'd say 14.
Okay, they could then theoretically play. Oh, dude, Dan Hurley is the most godless coach in there. Listen to that man's press conferences. That is the most godless man in sports.
There we go. Dan Hurley beats Navy.
1 versus 16 games.
Oh my God.
SoCon.
Pull out my bracket.
You will not be getting any analysis from me on this conference. My brother is on a team in this conference. I'm picking Western Carolina. There is no logic to it. Go Mountains.
I love it.
I will be taking Samford over Mercer. No explanation. Just I will be taking Samford over Mercer.
I'm taking Mercer.
Over
Wofford. Subject to change, though.
All right.
I just know I want to pick Mercer because that backcourt's electric.
Yeah, they're a really good backcourt. Summit League.
This is the league I did the least amount of research in.
Hold on. Just let Sam go for a couple minutes about how this league plays no defense.
Perfect.
This league plays no defense. So every year, there's like one team in this league that plays defense.
Well, what was the line you used? It's being the best defensive team in the Summit League is like being the fastest kid in kindergarten.
Yeah, it's a participation trophy.
No, being the best defensive team in the Summit League is getting a toy with your Happy Meal.
Okay, this year there's 2 teams in the Summit League that remotely play defense. Those 2 also happen to be the 2 best offenses in the league. If we don't get St. Thomas, North Dakota State in the final, I would be so disappointed.
Yeah.
These are so clearly the 2 best teams in the conference. Although, shout out Denver. They play less defense than anyone else in this league, but they can score a lot. Please don't beat St. Thomas.
I'm taking St. Thomas. Like, I kind of was of the opinion that St. Thomas was always the best team in this league, even though they've slipped up a couple times. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, they just throttled North Dakota State.
They totally pounded them.
Yeah, they beat them by 22. I know it was at home, but I think St. Thomas wins this tournament. This is their first year of eligibility, right, for the NCAA tournament.
For me, this is flip a coin. I love the St. Thomas team, but I also love this North Dakota State team. I've talked about Damari Wheeler-Thomas and Trayson Anderson and Trevian Carson, Markai Strick. I've talked about this team a whole bunch throughout the year. So I'm going to find a coin, and I'm going to flip it. I can't find a coin.
I may have a coin for you.
So I'm going to flip my Apple TV remote.
I have a coin. Do you want me to flip the coin?
Yeah. Call it heads for North.
What coin do you want? I have a selection.
Go with a quarter. Call it heads for North Dakota State and tails for St. Thomas.
Okay. It's been a while since I've flipped a coin, so we'll see how this goes. All right. Heads for North Dakota State, tails for St. Thomas?
Yep.
It is tails.
Give me Omaha.
Here's the proof.
No, it's St. Thomas. I got to live up to my word. I'm going tails for St. Thomas.
Yeah, round to St. Thomas. In the last game these 2 teams played, St. Thomas took 35 threes and 19 shots at the rim. They had 3 mid-range shots, and they made all of them. The rim and 3 rate for St. Thomas in that game would just be insane. I'll take the process. St. Thomas is the best 3-point shooting team, 2-point shooting team, and the best 3-point shooting defense in this league, and best effective field goal percentage, offense and defense. I just hope they can grab a freaking rebound.
March Madness needs Nolan Minnesali.
Yeah. Sunbelt.
Okay. Stairway to 7?
Will somebody be climbing the ladder?
So I'm actually really annoyed.
I'm just really glad that I don't have to watch a Sean Duregorden run this tournament again. God, that was awful last year.
That was awful.
I'm actually really annoyed by this because if Arkansas State didn't have to play like
By the way,
6
by run, they made it to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, but
they still would have had to win.
Yeah.
What?
They're still awful. They were bad.
Did he ever pick a destination in the portal? Did he just get left there?
You recorded? He was out of eligibility.
I saw so many teams were flirting with him in the portal. Was he like trying to get a year?
Yeah. He was out of eligibility.
Okay, got it.
Okay. I actually think James Madison is going to like maybe win 2 or 3 games.
It'd be really good for my team and our league.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, you're making a late season surge.
Am I actually?
I think you're up to like 7th.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Next year, if we're doing that again, I will actually look at teams before the minute I'm drafting, and hopefully CJ doesn't take the picks that I actually have that are good.
Dude, I'm so glad that I took Miami, Ohio in that league.
We were so close to just not mentioning and talking about them.
You mentioned them earlier.
Yeah, but I mentioned that we weren't talking about them, so it was loud.
All right, I think JMU makes it to the App State game, but I think App State beats them. And then I think App State beats Troy.
DeRosa, you can go here.
I am really annoyed that this is the format for the team where I would be 100% picking the 7 seed. I think this is a real. If they didn't have to play 19 games in 2 days, this is an awesome draw for Arkansas State. Also, like South Alabama would like they just fit the philosophy Michael has of just teams that play really interesting styles that you have to prepare for on really quick turnarounds. That's a team I really want to pick. And then I see the draw, and it would be either they're probably playing Arkansas State for their first game, a team that is the second best 3-point shooting team in the league and the best offensive rebounding team in this league. And then after that, they play Marshall, who is the best 3-point shooting team in this league. And they run a zone that solely gives up 3-point shots and offensive rebounds. It is the worst draw they could have possibly had. So I would want to pick them, and I can't. I want to pick Arkansas State, and I can't because they have to play 19 fucking games. And it's like, all right, it's too many. Like, are they going to have tired legs at that point? Probably, because I can't pick them. So I really wanted to because of the tired legs. I won't. I'm just going to freaking pick Troy. Chalk donkey. But like, I really want to pick Arkansas State. And honestly, if Lidskin just is like, I want to take Troy, I'm just going to be like, give me Arkansas State. Screw it. I'll look like an idiot.
Yeah, I think Ark State wins 3 games as well at the bottom of this bracket. I think they make it to Marshall. But I think Marshall ends up beating them.
So that's another thing I have on this tournament. If Marshall had the big boy, 7'4", Von Kamen, I don't know how. Von Kamen, yeah. If he is back, I will be picking them to actually win this league. But I don't think he is.
Yeah, no, he's a total game changer for them defensively. I'm going App over Marshall in the final.
Yeah, he is just like they actually play rim defense versus when he is not there, they don't stop anything at the rim.
Yeah. That one starts on Tuesday. Jonathan, who you got?
Well, yeah, I don't really feel like there's a ton of separation in this league, which would be, it sucks that this is the format for the Sun Belt because I think it's maybe one of the few mid-major leagues that doesn't need this format. But like, I have Arkansas State making a run here as well. I think they're the most talented team in the league. I like Coastal's backcourt, but I don't love a ton else about them. If you have followed this pod in the last, year or two, I liked Troy a lot last year in the preseason, and they ended up, making a run and winning the Sun Belt tournament last year. And this is a obviously advantageous draw with getting to start in the semis, so I'm gonna take Troy.
All right, Liz can take Troy. I'm taking Arkansas State.
There you go.
WCC.
Fast forward.
Every team that I like in this bracket, aside from obviously Gonzaga, is in the bottom. Seattle, Pacific, and Santa Clara.
You think Gonzaga has to play Portland again?
I have my doubts.
I don't think that will happen. I think they will play San Francisco.
I've been high, I've been low, I've been in San Francisco. I think it's a huge advantage for Gonzaga. I think this bracket came out.
I mean, this bracket is like Gonzaga's got it easy.
Yeah, this is the best draw they could have possibly had. Zags.
I don't think St. Mary's will lose to Santa Clara or Pacific or even Seattle by some stretch of the imagination. But I trust Gonzaga way more to get through that semifinal game easy and make it to Tuesday night. So I have to take Gonzaga. I also just do think Gonzaga is the better team.
Oh,
I will be taking Gonzaga over Santa Clara.
Santa Clara gets to the championship game. They probably make the NCAA tournament.
And I want them to make the NCAA tournament. So
yeah, I do too. I like that team. Alan Graves is quite the player.
The guards are so much fun too. They're so tough.
Yeah, I love Christian Hammond.
Yeah. Shout out to Sasha Kovalyagov too.
Villanova legend.
Yeah.
I think we're done.
Belgian chocolate. There are a couple more we have, no?
What?
They're not finished brackets yet. Dang it. All the ones that I have the long shots and the Jerome aren't finished brackets yet.
Shoot. Was that due today?
You can do it tomorrow. So you're good.
All right, John, you want to take us home?
I want to get off first. I'm taking
Go.
Northern Colorado to win the Big Sky.
Eastern Washington.
Don't steal my pick. I'm taking Northern Colorado. Suck my balls. They're going to win it.
I have to ride with Eastern Washington. Like, I just have to. After calling them the best 3-13 team in the country in January, I have to ride with them.
Fetterman pulled a Dennis Gates and was actually right. And it was great.
I mean, you were in on them too.
I was in on them from like the third day of the season and then totally forgot about them.
I bet Northern Colorado in the game where those two teams played recently. So now I'm just in on Northern Colorado.
I love it. Love it.
I mean, I like
Colorado did not win or cover that game, by the way, just so we're all on the same page.
All right, Jonathan, take us
When
home.
do we get our next brackets?
We get
I think the Big Sky comes out on Monday, right?
we get the Big Sky tomorrow.
Yeah. Northern Colorado.
I can't wait to talk about the A10 tournament.
By the way, IU Indy is winning tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm in the Stuckey pool with a friend, so I gotta make a pick in that game.
See, I gotta join that. I will be doing that tomorrow morning.
It's fun. I did it last year for the first time. It's really fun.
Yeah, I gotta get a ringer of mine in to try to pick some of these games that I'm not paying attention to, but hopefully Gigabyte over here can do all right.
All right, Sam, am I taking us home?
Yeah.
If you came to hear about Tyler Self and where he's working, you came to the right place. If you came to hear about shots by Kai being a free throw distraction, you came to the right place. And if you came to hear about the latest happenings with Caleb Grill, you came to the right place. This has been Season 6, Episode 91 of Brackets, Bubbles, and Bid Stealers, and we'll see you next time.